Good morning students, I hope you are all well, and today I am going to teach you unit number 8. In the last two classes I taught unit number 1 and unit number 5. So let's start. What is your unit number 8? Unit number 8 is proficiency in framing instructions. Okay, so what are the important questions of this unit? First of all, I am telling you 4 questions altogether, because these questions are all related to one another. Then I will describe the answers also. Okay. First question, what is a task? Second question, what is activity? Third question, what is the difference between task and activity? And fourth question, it's also important, what are the characteristics of a task? What is task and what are the characteristics of a task? What is activity, and what are the differentiations between, what is the difference between task and activity? These 4 questions I am describing the answers also. First question, what is a task? So what will be the definition of task? You have to write, a task is an activity which is required to happen in groups, pairs, through collaboration and cooperation, and which ends in a product or an outcome. What does it mean? It means that a task is an activity. I am coming to activity. What is activity? But before that, just try to understand what is task. A task is an activity. Task is an activity which is required to happen in group or pairs. Just remember, a task is an activity which is required to happen in groups or pairs through collaboration and cooperation. Collaboration and cooperation are also needed for a task, and which ends in a product or an outcome. It has an outcome. It has a consequence. A task has an outcome. Okay. Now, what are the characteristics of a task? From the definition, you can easily say this. Now, the characteristics of a task are, first point, a task is a tool for language learning. Definitely, while you are going to learn a language, a task can be a tool. It has both meaning and purpose. It has both meaning and purpose. It involves learners' activity. While you are giving a task to the learners, they have to do some activity to complete the task. You are giving a task to your students, that means they have to complete that task, they have to do some activity. Okay, that's why it has been said that it involves learners' activity. Fourth point, it is productive. I already told you it has an outcome. That's why you can say that a task is productive. It can make a product. Now, what is activity? What is the definition of activity? You can write like, an activity requires the learners to do something in pairs or groups through communication, interaction and exchange, but does not end in a product or outcome. What does it mean? In case of activity also, pairs and groups are needed. Communication and interaction are also needed, but it does not have any outcome. An activity does not have any outcome. Now, the question, what is the difference between task and activity? Or you can say that what are the differences between task and activity? An activity therefore has a beginning and middle but does not have an end, whereas a task has a beginning and middle and an outcome. All tasks are activities, but all activities are not tasks. Have you got the point? Okay, I am giving an example. You can easily understand what is the difference between task and activity. Suppose, being a teacher, you are writing something on the blackboard in your classroom. Okay. To the left side of the blackboard, you are writing some English words in a row, and to the right side, you are writing some Bengali meanings of those English words. Now you are asking your students to match those words. This is a task. This is called a task. This project is called a task. And now, when the students are matching it, when the students are solving it, they are doing the activity. This is called activity. While they are matching those words, they are doing the activities. So this is activity and this is task. That's why it is said that all tasks are activities. Yeah, you can say that. While you are giving a task to the students, they have to do activity. So that's why all tasks are activities, but all activities are not tasks. And activities do not have any outcome, but a task has an outcome. After completing the task, they can form sentences, grammatically correct. So these are the differentiations. Now come to the next question. State the division of a listening class. State the divisions of a listening class. You can write the answer like, a listening class is generally divided into 4 phases. First one, warm-up activity. Second one, pre-listening activity. Third, while listening activity. And fourth, post-listening activity. These are the 4 phases. First, warm-up activity. What is a warm-up activity? Warm-up activity means you are making some activities for students. Like, suppose you have entered the classroom and you start talking with the students. You are asking their names and you are asking where from they are. So such a kind of conversation, this is called warm-up activity. They will answer to you. This is warm-up activity. You are taking the initiation. Being a teacher, you are taking the initiation. Then pre-listening activity. Pre-listening activity. Pre-listening activity means, suppose the topic you are going to teach. Suppose the topic you are going to teach in your classroom. Before teaching that topic, you have to say something so that they can relate to the topic. You are going to teach one topic and they will listen to you. Listening skills will be improved by them while they will be listening to you. But before going to teach that topic, you have to say something related to the topic so that they can easily understand what they are going to learn today. That is pre-listening activity. Okay. Now, while listening activity. While listening activity means while you are teaching the topic. You are teaching a story or you are teaching a poem. Now you are reading the lines and you are describing the meaning of those lines or the phrases and how to pronounce such a kind of things. So as they are listening to you, their listening skills are being improved. So that is the phase called while listening activity. Post listening activity means after completing the task, you are giving some questions or you are giving some activities or tasks, or you are telling the morality of that topic what you have taught your students. That phase is post listening activity. Okay, now come to the next question.